Welcome to Endeavor TV with the Acer Liquid E3 smartphone, which is a 4-inch screen, which has a WVGA resolution, 800x180 pixel, dual-core 1.3 GHz MediaTek processor. On the back there is an 8-megapixel camera with flash, and we also have a quick mode button here, so we can unlock not only the screen faster, but we have also contextual settings for each app, so you can have different settings inside the apps when you press the button. But there's also an on and off switch here on the top, headphone port on the bottom. We have the micro USB, and on the side there's the actually the volume rocker. On the other side we don't have anything right now. This is actually a flip cover right here in my hand. Of course, when you will buy the device for $99, there will be no flip cover inside, but it has a nice little rubber finish on the back, so it feels quite good for just holding in your hand. The cover should be available for about $119, and you can actually take off the back cover of this phone, which has a dual SIM cards here inside, 2x micro SIM, and also micro SD, so you can extend the 4 gigs of internal memory. The battery has a 1580 milliamp capacity inside and should last you about 1 or 2 days in regular use. Let me put the cover back on and show you guys that you can't only just unlock it by pressing the top button, where you have then your quick apps that you could choose from, and a nice little animation with water here. But if you press just the back button, you will be right away inside. Okay, let me put the cover on properly. If you press the back button, you will be able to just go right away inside the home screen without unlocking the device. But of course, if you have a PIN number or anything like that inside, you will still need that. So as you can see, it's a quite nice and fast phone, but the display is not as great if you look just around the corners, especially from the top. The colors change quite quickly, but of course for a $99 device it's still alright. If you go into the apps, you can see here also this is quite nice to just browse through, goes quite quickly, but there is a little app I want to show you which is called Quick Mode, which is quite nice for elderly or young people for a quick, for a cheap smartphone. You can just set, for example, for kids, and that they only can call some friends, have some SMS features, shoot some pictures, or listen to music, or just look at the pictures. So just the basic features that maybe teenagers would need. You can of course go out of this mode, but only if you have the PIN number. In my case, you'll be able to see just 4x0. For seniors, they maybe need a little bit more features, like they want to know the weather, listen to FM radio, have the magnifier option, which is actually just launching the camera, so you can zoom in and out a little bit. So this is not that big of a feature in my eyes, but it looks quite nice. You can browse here to the contacts, and again here a photo and album feature on the sides. Let me go out of here again. Then we have some classic modes, for example here some apps that you can again pre-install. Here again to the left and right some quick settings there. You can go outside here and have everything again for you, but of course you don't need a PIN number anymore there. And this is again one of my favorites, where you just have the phone right away here, and also some quick apps that you can use for basic everyday scenarios. Going back to default mode brings you back to Android, where you can just go, for example, inside the browser and look at the keyboard, which is for typing quite fast. So this is not a slow keyboard, but also if you just flip the screen, it feels a little bit slower than your regular, a little bit more expensive smartphone. If you go out of here again, we can also just look at the camera, where we were before, which is not as fast, but there's also only a back camera here, which looks alright, but you have to really hold your hand steady to shoot nice pictures. But there's also an HDR mode here, for example, which is nice, and the beauty mode for nicer skin. So this was the Acer Liquid E3. Thank you much for tuning in. Just a little size comparison with the Apple iPhone 5S, so you guys can see the two 4-inch screens, which looks actually a little bit bigger on the iPhone, which is quite strange, but I think it's just not as wide. And for example, the Motorola Moto G is price-wise around the same for $169. Actually, it's 50% more, but still a similar device with, of course, a little bit bigger measurements, and there's no button on the back, no micro SD inside here, and no dual SIM. So actually the Liquid has some properties that are quite nice, but the screen is actually looking a little bit better on the Motorola, and the processor is a little bit faster. So thank you much for tuning in. My name is Balazs. This was the Acer Liquid E3. Till next time, peace and again from the Mobile World Congress 2014.